What's up guys, Enkiri here, and welcome to vlog number 107. I got some pretty good stuff for you guys today. We've got another one of those Frankenstein vlogs here with a couple different training sessions mishmashed together. So first up is a little bit of zombie squatting along with some sled sprinting, and then after that we got some pretty strong weighted dips. So kicking it off with the lower body work here. This session was pretty damn tough actually. I think that my best set of 3 on the zombie squat at this time was with 365 pounds. And what I had been doing was working my way up to 355 pounds for a triple every single session, so twice a week, and I ended up maintaining that for a few months actually before I finally broke through and hit what's now my current PR triple with 370 pounds. Now, I haven't really gone through all the old footage and counted up the sets or anything like that, and you guys would probably get bored if I literally posted the exact same footage every single week. But if I had to hazard a guess, I probably would say that I've hit 355 for a triple something like 15 times over the course of like 8 weeks where I was really hammering this lift. It was getting pretty brutal though, and for me this session here really kind of exemplifies that. I just could not get going. Everything felt so sluggish. I just didn't have much energy. My body felt stiff, and even squats that don't look particularly hard on camera felt really difficult to me internally, like the set with 325 pounds that I took before the top set with 355. And then the top set was just rough. The first couple reps were technically proficient, but they just felt so brutal to me. And then the last rep got away from me a little bit, and all in all, it was just a grinder of a set, just one of those struggle days. But I got the work done that I needed to get done, and by succeeding there with that pretty heavy weight on such a bad day, I was finally able to get enough adrenaline pumping through me to kind of wake the fuck up. So after that, I did something that I hadn't normally been doing with these sessions because I was trying to keep the overall volume pretty low, but so I took a back off set after the top set with 355, and all I did was take 20 pounds off the bar, but I was feeling so much better at that point that I figured what the hell. Now my best set of 5 reps at the time on the zombie front squat was with 325 pounds, so I decided to go for the 5 rep PR here with 335 pounds, and I ended up hitting my best set of the day by far with 5 smooth and pretty easy reps there. So I always enjoy a little bit of redemption, and I thought you guys might also. Every session is its own mini battle though, and it's important not only to not count yourself out until it's actually over, but also to make sure that every single battle is hard fought. Now, I'm not saying to try to kill yourself every day, but there's a certain level of mental intensity that needs to be brought with you into your training every single time that you train, even on the quote-unquote easy days. And I think that mental intensity is in large part what truly separates the guys who actually make good progress from the guys who don't. Genetics, when it comes to building strength, are, in my opinion, largely a cop-out. Anyway though, before we rattle too many cages, let's move on to the upper body portion of the vlog. So here I'm just running one of my favorite little exercise pairs for the upper body, which is weighted dips and seated rows. For the dips, the plan is to ramp up to either a heavy set of 5 or a heavy triple, but I won't make that decision until the session has picked up a little bit and I can get a better feel for where my strength levels are and kind of what record that I'm in the mood to try to break. The rows are a little bit simpler, and I just run a few straight sets there just to get in some high quality volume. I'm using a pretty light weight during this session, and I'm just focusing on squeezing those back muscles with every rep like a good bodybuilder. So for the dips, I ended up working my way up to 115 pounds doing sets of 5 reps, and then at that point, I decided to drop down to 3s and see how things went. And on the next set, I hit a really easy triple with 150 pounds. So at that point, I decided to go for the PR triple and see what happens. My best set of 3 at this point was with 165 pounds. So I loaded up 170 for the PR set, and it was okay. The first rep, I got a little bit out of position, which made the lockout tougher than it needed to be. The second rep was super easy, but unfortunately I cut the depth a little bit high. And then the third rep, the depth was okay, but I was kind of running out of gas at that point, and it ended up being a super grindy rep to lock out. So I got the PR, but it could have been executed a lot better. So I'll have to attack that weight again. But anyway, after that, just for fun, I decided to take one more heavy set just for a single, just to see how it would feel. So I loaded 190 pounds onto the belt, which when you factor in my body weight of 160 pounds, makes it a 350 pound dip, and it actually went pretty solid. The depth was perfect and the rep was tough, but honestly it was not quite a maximal rep. I've got a little bit left in me. I just really need to figure out how to stop myself from swaying so much when I do these heavy dips. That's always been my biggest problem, and it's kind of the torso swing that moves me out of my optimal line of leverage, which means that I have to be able to hold steady and wait for my body to swing back into position before I can really start pressing again, which is just very inefficient and wastes a lot of energy. So if I can get better in that regard, I can probably hit some pretty big dips in the future.
Bucket. Shh. 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 Oh yeah. Woo. Big money.
And then to finish up the day here, I decided to knock out a few back off sets on the way to dip using 135 pounds and just going for a few relatively comfy sets of 5 reps. Obviously, with all that fatigue from the previous sets, these were still feeling pretty damn hard, but 5s with this weight are well within my capabilities regardless, so that's tough, but it's pretty solid additional volume to close things out. And then I paired that up with a few sets of chin-ups instead of the rows that I had been doing earlier in the workout. So here I was using just 55 pounds on the chin-ups and knocking out a few sets of 5 reps, but using a very smooth and controlled form. This was still towards the beginning stages of my bicep rehab, so I was trying to be very controlled in my execution here in order to stimulate the tendon, but not aggravate it. All the reps are also done from a dead hang in the bottom, obviously, and overall, this rehab went great. It went about as good as it could go. I was doing the chin-ups like this twice a week, just 3 to 5 sets of 4 to 6 reps every session, and always using the same weight for every single set and for both sessions each week. And after maybe 6 or 8 more weeks like this, I had worked my way up to 80 pounds twice a week for some pretty easy repeat sets of 6 dead hang reps with no pain whatsoever in the bicep, which honestly is also probably the strongest that my chin-up has ever been, at least in terms of volume capacity. Now, I didn't test anything super heavy at the end of the rehab cycle because that isn't a goal of mine at the moment, but I will again in the near future. And the rehab cycle, like I said, was a great success, and it accomplished exactly what it was supposed to do while also making my lats quite a bit stronger as well, I think. Anyway, though, I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to touch on with these 2 training sessions, but if you haven't already done so, please check out my website that I just launched this past Friday. I've got a bunch of my informative YouTube content categorized and embedded onto the site, along with my first ever article that I've written covering one aspect of the psychology of strength training. And in addition to all that, you can get a look at the coaching services I offer, as well as pick up any of those training templates that I've been talking about directly from the website now. So yeah, check it out and let me know what you think. I'd really appreciate any feedback that you guys have. And other than that, keep training hard, and I'll catch you guys next time.